Hello. Today is Thursday, January 21st, and this will be the 21st chapter of the book of Genesis. We're looking at the 21st chapter of the book of Genesis today, and today is the day we've been waiting for. Back in chapter 12, God took Abraham aside and said, I'm going to make great nations of you. And for, is it 11 chapters? That'd be 23. It's 12, 9 chapters. We've been reading about this child. We've been hoping. We've been hearing different people prophesy that he was coming and his name and everything. Friends, in chapter 21, a son is born to Abraham and Sarah. And they named him Isaac because, again, and this is the Elohist voice, it's just one verse in verse 6 in chapter 20. And Sarah said he made her laugh. So, the son, the heir, is finally here. And, we all wait around for a child to be born, and it's exciting. But this means so much more to Abraham and Sarah and back then. And so the joy of having this son, this heir, this promise of God finally delivered unto you. And then you look at him and he's over there playing with that Ishmael. That ugly green monster comes out of Sarah again. And she sees Isaac playing with Ishmael, and she rages and sends Hagar out of the house. And Abraham puts them on their way with a skin of water, and they get as far as they can, and they drink all the water. And then she puts the child under a bush, and then she goes far enough away where she doesn't have to watch him die because she just can't bear it. This is bad stuff, y'all. I mean, if you look at all the stuff that Sarah has done, she doesn't have a very good track record. But that's okay. Anyway, the angel comes, rescues Hagar, and shows them a well, and they fill the skin with water. But that's not the last well in this story. 21 is the well story, but it's also the finally Isaac is born story. So she is restored, and they go on to live somewhere else, and he's given a wife, and they prosper. And we know that a long lineage of the worshipers of the one God comes from Ishmael. Now, the next story is about Abimelech. I love saying that name. He comes back into the picture, and he's still around. Here he is. And he has this commander with him, the commander of his armies, named Phil Cole. And what it looks like to me is like, maybe this is what a drummer, the guy from Genesis, the band Genesis, Phil Collins. This is what he would abbreviate his name in his email address, Phil Cole. So the commander of his army, Phil Collins, because it's Genesis. Do you get it? Never mind. Anyway, this is the guy with him. I don't know. He doesn't have any part to play in, other than that he's there. And Abraham and Abimelech come out of this. They have this situation where Abimelech's like, you're a good guy and God is with you and I want things to be good between us. And Abraham says, yes, that's good between us. So then some of Phil Collins' people come and take his well, they seize it. And Abraham goes over to Abimelech and says, Abimelech, they took my well and you need to fix it. And he's, okay, I don't know about this. I've never heard about this. This is the first time learning of this. So let me take care of it. And they do. And he gives them, so they make this covenant with each other. So even though it's Abraham's will and it was stolen, Abraham gives him all these little sheep 7 little sheep. And we'll see that wells become important, and so do sheep. And the number 7, incidentally, all 3 of those things become important in later on in Genesis as well. So they make this little promise to each other, and they have this little bromance, Abimelech and Abraham. And he gives him the well, and they name the place where the well is Beersheba. And then, so really the function of this text is to identify the city in Israel, Beersheba, and to give a lineage and a tradition around it. Also, to show, and this is all the Yahwist voice in this Abimelech Abraham story, to show the goodness of both Abraham and Abimelech and their descendants, that they are upright, righteous, upstanding citizens, and they deserve respect. And so this is they made a covenant, and they came together, and they showed that people can resolve their differences in peaceful and kind ways, and coming together and being friends. And then Abraham planted a tamarisk tree. And the significance of that is that the tree was a marker of a sacred site in Beersheba. So, Abraham resided as an alien many days in the land of the Philistines. So that's really where he is. Phil Collins is a Philistine. So is Abimelech. And he was, it mentions in this part that he was a resident alien in this community, and Abimelech welcomed him and knew that he was with God. And it wouldn't mess with him because of being visited in that dream. Remember the story 2 chapters back with taking Sarah as his wife accidentally. I really say accidentally because they both said, "Oh, she's my sister." So that's the Yahwist voice in that second part. And now we have a son. And so all the narratives of the ancestor will continue because we have a son. We have somebody to pass everything down to. And Isaac grows kind of quick. The story of Isaac and his sons when Isaac is very old is very soon, and so you'll remember this one from Sunday school, but it's coming up not not tomorrow, but it's coming up very soon. So Isaac grows kind of quickly. Abraham took a long time to get to fatherhood. Like I said, 9 chapters. We've been waiting for this baby to be born. So he's born to us. God fulfills God's promises. But God also asks us to be responsible for what God has entrusted to us. So you have this twofold picture of Abraham's character here. Abraham is blessed with a child in the first part of this chapter. In the second part of this chapter, he's asked to negotiate a land deal with a local ruler. And they come out of it friends, and both keep their good reputations intact for the future generations and all of their descendants. So I hope you will have a blessed day.